We are live now into the third hour of the fourth hour coming up as well. We're not just doing the radio show right now. In the last 2 hours every day, we simulcast live at prisonplanet.tv in the full studio with the documents, the video clips, putting the articles up on screen for prisonplanet.tv members. All right, folks. For the next 30 minutes, we're joined by Sheriff Richard Mack. For those that don't know who he is, former sheriff in Graham County, Arizona, and longtime crusader for freedom and individual rights. Right now, it is vital that they restore the Constitution and supreme law of the land. The greatest threat we face today is not terrorists. It is our own federal government. If America is conquered or ruined, it will be from within, not a foreign enemy. That's his quote. And you can go to his website, sheriffmack.com. He, of course, brought a case to the Supreme Court for the Second Amendment on 10th Amendment grounds, states' rights, and won. And we are very, very thankful to have him on with his perspective. As everything we talked about now has come true, world government upon us. We're about to break, but I want to introduce you now. Sheriff Mack, great to have you on with us.
Well, Alex, it's so good to be back with you. It's been a while, and I've been following what you've been doing, and I really thank you for having me back on with you. It's a great pleasure.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us. Every major newspaper is announcing world government's the answer to the economic crisis. World government run by the very same central banks that are now engineering the crisis.
Well, it is, and just like you're talking about the immigration problem, the global governance problem, where can we go? Where can we go for help? Washington, D.C., your senator, your congressman, all that's a joke.
Richard Mack's our guest. We'll be back after this short 3-minute break and break down the State of the Union according to this great patriot and his advice to police and military out there who are being asked more and more to violate the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and aid the foreign banksters in their takeover of our once great republic. Stay with us. We are back live with Sheriff Richard Mack. We had more lawmen like him in this country, more defenders of liberty, more servants. And through service is how great work is done. True heroes, then we wouldn't be in the situation we're in today. Sheriff Richard Mack, in the time we've got, I want to have you back up soon for a full hour. Going back to what I first said, I want you to speak to this. I mean, they're in the Time magazine saying we're all socialists now. They're in Newsweek saying it. Time magazine has the headline, New World Order. They say a new global bank to run the United States, to control the entire world that we pay taxes to. This is what we always said the international bankers were planning because their own documents said it. Why are they now coming right out in the open with this? Why are they pushing this? And what does this mean to you that they're finally not lying about it anymore? You know, the FBI training manual will say you're a terrorist if you talk about a new world order and that doesn't exist. Now they're admitting it exists but saying it's good.
Well, I've written about Time magazine has talked about the New World Order quite a bit. I did an article about I think it was an issue of 1995 where Time magazine said had an article, Who Should Keep the Keys? And it talked about Henry Kissinger saying that we need to compromise American idealism in order to fit into today's global society. This isn't that new, and you and I both know that. But I think now is the time for them to make their play. They're obviously not hiding it anymore. They've got New World Order boys in there that have been pushing this, ever since, the first George Bush, obviously, was pushing for this. He talked about the New World Order all the time. Bill Clinton talked about the New World Order all the time. George Jr. didn't say the words as nearly as much as his dad did, but he was certainly pushing for this. They're giving all our money to the banksters. The banksters own America. The banks own our currency. And that's why people like you and I have said all along that you better have gold and silver and food storage, and you better be able to protect yourselves and your family. And so along with your food storage, you need guns and ammo. These things we've been preaching since we've been on the air and since we've been involved in the freedom movement, myself for the last 15 years, maybe a little bit longer. Why they're being so blatant about it right now, I don't know, but the monster is knocking on the door, and we better be ready for it. And there's nobody protecting us in Washington, D.C. Ron Paul would probably be the only one, but he's basically ineffective because he's all by himself. Just like I said before the break, if you think you're going to call your congressman, I get all these emails all the time. Call your congressman, call your senator, and ask them not to do this bill or whatever. Those are all jokes, Alex. I do not waste my time trying to call my congressman or senator anymore. Those guys are bought and paid for. They're going to do what they're going to do. They do not care about you. They do not care about their constituents. And there is one person who I believe can stop this new world order. His name is your county sheriff. And that's why I've written the new book, The County Sheriff, America's Last Hope. It details the documentation. There is no question that your sheriff has the responsibility to protect you from tyranny.
And that's why the
international
feds,
bankers, whatever. Yes, go ahead.
That's why the feds have been moving, and in many states, to abolish the sheriff or make it be appointed by the city when it's the county chartered by the state, and he is the elected, most powerful elected representative in the county. Literally, he can, call up a posse, the local draft. It's totally constitutional. Instead, they've tried to shut down the sheriff, demonize it, or run feds and New World Order people for the position. So they've been attacking it from every angle, weakening it, getting rid of it, making it appointed, not elected. I think the best way to start here is just...
You're right. They've already stopped. They've already done away with the sheriff in Connecticut. And you were talking about the immigration problem, not the immigration problem, but the illegal immigration problem. Sheriff Joe Arpaio, who has endorsed my book, by the way, he's on the back of the book, he believes in all of this about the autonomy of the sheriff. Look what he has done. He has been, I guess, the only sheriff in this country to round up illegals and arrest them and take them and put them in jail. And he's having the feds come and get them as soon as they can and say, look, I'm doing your job here. Come and get them and send them back. This is an amazing example of your sheriff. Have you noticed that nobody can get in his way? He even had the city of Mesa, where he was doing some raids there, and he actually went into the city of Mesa building and arrested some illegal aliens in the city complex. And the chief of police got real mad and was spouting off on the news about Sheriff Arpaio should be coordinating such an effort with him. And then they interview Arpaio, of course, and you know what he said. The last time I looked, Mesa is within the jurisdiction of Maricopa County. He says, I don't have to ask anybody's permission. And that's the point I make in the book. Your sheriff is not a bureaucrat. He does not answer to anyone except the people, and he's bound by oath to uphold and defend the Constitution, and therefore he can protect you from the IRS. He can protect you and your money, your property, your welfare, your children. He is the only answer left. The county sheriff, America's last hope. That's
I think at the county level, but there's also juries, grand juries, that form of voting for the people is another hope. And we now have 10 states and 20 others now saying they may sign